Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Another. Last episode, we investigated to see how Kekaru, I believe that's her name, Kekaru was murdered. In this episode, we will be undergoing the class trial to see who the real killer of her was. Enough delay, let's get on over here. This must be the place Monokuma told us to come. Courtroom. So I am kind of like puzzled about the clean body thing because you can't wipe away blood like that easily. Like, it's still gonna leave a stain. But I'm pretty sure that means they must have changed her into new clothes. But so why is there blood by the bathroom still? That means she was still leaking. Well, we'll figure it out, I guess. Ah, Yuki, you're here. I was about to get worried. Are you trying to run away from your crimes? Are you saying I'm the killer? Don't get ahead of yourself. We'll eventually find out the culprit, even if we don't want to. Even if it is the wrong answer. Since we came this far, did everyone get ready? To be or not to be? Dead or alive? That is the question. Stop joking around. We're trying to be serious. Hey! Jesus Christ, man. Hey, you all. Haru was right. This ain't no ordinary trial. Our life depends on it. So quit whining and pull yourselves together. It's Yamaguchi? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with you guys? You're all loosened up. You'll never get anywhere near the truth with that in mindset. Ah, the ultimate lawyer. It's like he's switching to his alternate personality with the sneeze. Kekaru, did you eat something wrong? Oh wait, I said Kekaru tonight. Kyoka. Kyoka's murder at the start. Oops. Shut your trap, wimps! I always like this in the courtroom. If you're pissed off by how I am, challenge me to decisive proof in the trial. Where did all that slandering coward go? I always wondered how Kekaru became a lawyer with all his shyness. Though his sudden change came to me as a surprise, let me understand why he was the ultimate lawyer right away. That powerful voice and spirit will surely give him a great advantage in court. The only problem is, he sounds more like a gangster than a lawyer. I gotta talk in like an Italian accent. Yo! Looks like everyone's here. Take that elevator and come underground. I'll be waiting for you guys. No, I'll just stick with the normal voice. It's time, for real. Let's hope we do our best. Oh shit, I can talk to everyone one by one and see their thoughts. What do you think, boy? Don't get me wrong. I know it ain't the right time, but wasn't that one mad personality switch? I almost fell on my knees when I saw that. Well, useless. Ready to uncover the truth? Like I said multiple times, I have no intention to help you out. Have fun struggling. Dead or alive? Let's find out live. Damn it. It's really got into this? Can we even make it back here alive? The class trial will start soon. We did our best, so let's hope that luck is on our side. Wait. Why do I suspect that I am the killer? Because you'd have to be like... The killer needs to be a girl. Someone like, at least like someone who wasn't hostile enough for Kyoka to come. And someone needs to like lift up and drag the body, so they need to be physically fit. So I think it's Ayame who killed her. I feel like it's Ayame. I wonder how and why Monokuma is making us do this. So I suppose we have more important matters to handle. I'm putting in right now, Ayame's the killer. Let's go. Because it needs to be a girl, because no male can enter the bathroom or else they're gonna get shot on instinct. It's not Ray, that's a red herring. Kajuna could do it, but like, I don't think like he's like physically like fit enough to drag her body to the restroom, like in time without anyone noticing. I don't think it's Akane. Like, I don't want it to believe it's Akane. Kanata's, you know, like not strong enough to pull off all this. So I think it's Ayane who killed her. The class trial will start soon. We did our best, so let's hope that luck is on our side. Oh wait, I didn't talk to everyone. The harm of our human being means to defy heavenly law. Or commit the acts must be ready to answer for their sins. Whew. I tried my best, but I'm still not sure on this. I might need to hear what the rest of you guys found out to get a grip on it. Kyoko will be watching it from up above. Let's find her murderer and find her place. I don't know, IMA. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think she's the one who killed her. But enough delay. Let's get on to this. Oh. Are you ready to begin the class trial? I think that's what it says. Well, I guess it's time to find out the killer. After this, will we really find the killer after all this? I hope someone who watched this tells me if I'm even saying the right things. Will we really find out? The fate of our lives on the line. If we get it wrong, we'll be killed. Or one of us is the killer. Can we do it? Without any delay, I push open the door to the classroom, to the courtroom. With this, we will find the murderer out. Holy shit, that is gonna end the fate of our lives. Kyoko will be all uncovered beyond these doors. I hope someone helped me with the accurate translation for that was, and how wrong I was. The elevator descent underground with a series of clinks and clanks. God, this is gonna take forever. Which floor are we on? This feels like we're going somewhere we can never come back from. Not concerned about our uneasiness at all. The elevator slowly approached the destination. We're here. Boop, boop, boop. Finally, I was dying to see y'all. What is this place? It looks so flashy. I set this special courtroom just for you guys. Isn't it sick? Other courtroom would be nothing compared to this. What the hell are you speaking? You call this a courtroom? You gotta be kidding me. This is contempt from court. Well, enough talking. Let's get over this quick. Stand where your name is written. Is everyone ready? We shall begin in a moment. Behold, the class trial! A circle arrangement where we can see each other's faces directly. Like Manakuma's mischievousness, almost ridiculous attitude, with a strange tension going on around here. The clean body part's still bugging me. Kyoka, she was a playful friend, and though somewhat lazy at times, she signed with positivity at every moment. When everyone else panicked at Monokuma's motive, she managed to cheer me up. Kyoka left our side too early. What would have she thought at her final moments? Why did she have to die? The cruel killer who murdered Kyoka? That cold-blooded, heartless killer? It's hiding among us. And thus, Act 1 at Hope Peace Academy begins. A life or death trial. A life or death deception. A life or death betrayal. A life or death mystery. Okay, how long are we going to go with the life and death metaphor? A life or death lie. A life or death truth. A life or death class trial. Alright. Okay, let's save our progress just in case. Shoot bullets. Let's review our footage. So, our footage, our evidence. So she was killed around 6, and we discovered at in the girl's restroom. Her caught to death with a blow to the head, and not like from hanging. Yeah. Kind of the count is that she was killed by a blow to the head and not from hanging. And she had a clean body. That part is bugging me. Like, how did she have like a clean spot without any blood stains? Like, blood is not something that you can just wipe away. Someone wrote her a note. Any camera. Wait, is that what's supposed to be? Come to the line room at 6. I don't know what the any cameras. I'll be waiting. Yeah. Yeah, drop the blood. Although there's no notable blood in the body itself. I'll blink from the moon. Yeah, but I'm saying if she was murdered in the laundry room, wouldn't there be blood, like, in the hallway? From, like, just dragging or lifting the body to the restroom? Who knows? A little rubber-smelling liquid? I don't know what this could be. A hook? The rope hanging around Kyoka's neck with a hook left in... Were hooks typically used to hang a person? The ceiling bar is pretty high up and hard to reach by hand. The cord might have been used to hold the rope in place. According to Mikado, there's something to be strange about it. She said, if it was done from the inside, it cannot be tied like that. If it's done from the inside, I don't understand. I mean, if you throw a hook, how did he get it to like wrap around? Wait. Oh no, the hook at that part, and then the rope is tied around. Okay, never mind. The hook was attached there. It can't be tied like. Oh wait. So, if she's hanging like that, how'd the rope end up like this? What the hell? With nameplate, Haru's the one who broke the nameplate. And Kakeru is pretty much saying, why make Haru's innocent? And the hammer's the murder weapon, and rubber ball. Okay. I think we're ready to begin. Let's start this. No more delay. Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can find out the culprit, only they will receive punishment, but if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blacken, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. One of us is the killer? The culprit who murdered Kyoka? Of course! No way! I have to be in the same place as a real murderer? I can't do that! I know it's hard, but it's a must. We need to uncover the truth behind this case. Anime, I'm so sorry if you are innocent, but you are really looking really suspicious based on like everything that I know and can think about this case, and ultimately reveal the culprit's identity. Wait, hold on! What's that? That's the picture of Kyoka. Wouldn't it be awful if she got left out just because she died? That should penetrate even death's barrier. Hey, let me ask you something just in case. It's crucial that we know this for the trial. With the real importance, so prepare to answer, dumbass. Can there be an accomplice in this case? In the case, that will determine the entire course of our discussion. Really important? Why, sure, I can tell you that. Now, accomplice in any murder may exist. However, no matter how many accomplices there are, only the one who committed the murder graduates. I see. There would be no merit for the accomplice. Kakeru, he really looks like a different person. That'll do for the preamble. Let's get started then. First up, it's the case summary. Now, let the debate begin. The class trial. When Makuna first mentioned it in the gym, I thought none of us would commit a murder. The class trial would never happen. That's why I didn't even think too deeply about this. But it really got started. Trial to find Kyoka's killer. If we fail to reveal the culprits in this trial, we'll be... No, I can't let that happen. I have to do this, not only for me, but for everyone else too. To find out what really happened. To reach the ultimate truth. I must do this with all my might. Would you like to hear about it more? Yeah, let's see how it works in this game. In a non-stop debate, you need to be on the lookout for contradictions in your fellow student's statement and refute them with truth bullets. You can fire a truth bullet by moving the red crosshair over the text marked in yellow and pressing confirm. A set of truth bullets taken from the list you obtained during evidence will be given to you for each discussion. You need to select the right truth bullet to refute the contradiction. Press shift to change the truth bullet. You need to say, but firing a truth bullet at the wrong will deplete your influence gauge. Complete depletion of the influence gauge will result in game over. So please be careful. You may skip through the line by pressing the arrow in the bottom right. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Who got something wrong? Okay. So we only have the Makuma file. Let's start with the basic. Yokamaki was the victim, right? She was our classmate and friend, basically murdered this morning. Miss Maki, she was discovered in the girls' restroom, hanged by her neck. But who could have done this thing? Such a terrible thing. Look, you see, I still can't quite believe it. A real murder happened here. I mean, it's ridiculous. No, she's not died by choking. Oh, we got voice acting within Japanese. What? I get graded on how fast I react? I got 90 points, but could have done better. That's wrong, Teruya. Kyoko didn't choke to death. She didn't choke to death? Then how do you explain the rope around her neck? The Monokuma files. Didn't you read it? It clearly states that Kyoko's cause of death. Look, it says here. The victim, Kyoka Maki. The estimated time of death around 6 a.m. The body was discovered hanging in the girls' restroom of the student dormitory. The cause of death is a contusion on the occupant. It seems to have accident blood loss from the wound. See? According to the file, Kyoka didn't die due to choking. Her real cause of death is a contusion on her occupant. On the back of her, you know, I'm just gonna say head. The back of her head. Oh, it says the hell. Yeah, but can we really trust that thing? I don't know if I can really trust something from that old jerk Monokuma. What? Are you questioning my credibility? Oh, kids these days, they just love to judge a file by its cover. Listen, I do not tell any lies regarding the trial. I believe in a failed trial more than anyone else. Don't worry, Mr. Otori. I can back up the credibility of that information. Almost everything on the Monokuma file is true. I'll guarantee you at the physician. So if Kyoka died from a contusion on her head, someone must have hit her from the back, right? Okay, she didn't kill herself, and another person killed her. Then I guess it really is murder. Well, duh! Don't reckon that it's suicide just because you're too late to go through the trial. Our lives are at stake here. Well, let's not waste energy in pointless insults. It's already stated in the Monokuma file, but add on my own personal commentary. Kyoka's injury was very severe. The strike went through her skull and made a large depression on her head. Inferring from this, she probably died an instant death. What a devastating injury. This should not have happened. We can put those commentary aside and talk about what actually matters. If the injury was that severe, a hard object must have been used to strike her head. The murder weapon, you mean? I expected someone would bring that up around this time. Now, well, let's all talk about the weapon used to deliver this fatal blow to Kyoka. If Kyoka didn't kill herself, a blunt object other than a rope must have been used as the weapon. Let's delve into that some more. The murder weapon that struck Kyoka's head. We're to find out what that was. Alright. The culprit must have hit her in the head with a blunt object. That should be the weapon. I don't know how Blade Hammer will help that, so I'm like, what kind of weapon? What kind of object is the weapon? The strike on Kyoka's head would clearly deepen up to create a depression on her skull. So perhaps I'm long out of back. No. It is a bloody hammer. Wait, saying no, that's wrong. Oh, that's reaction time. Nice. And that's why I'm not good at Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. Aime, that can't be right. In fact, I discovered this from the dormitory garbage dump. It's that. It's a hammer. A small one you can easily hold with one hand. Is that what the culprit used to attack Kyoka? It apparently had blood on it. What do you mean it apparently had blood on it? Look at it! There's blood on the handle! Or on the head of it. What do you mean apparently? So it must be a weapon. The fact it was found at the garbage dump indicates that the culprit attempted to get rid of it. How'd you even find it at the dump? But can a tiny hammer like that kill? It's a hammer, man. What do you mean? If it can strike a nail, it can strike a head. Want to try it if you're curious? No thanks, I'm fine. Regardless of the size, a hammer is made of metal. With enough force at the right angle, killing a person in a single blow is not entirely impossible. To sum up, the culprit murdered Kyoko at once with a hammer strike from the back, then hanged her. But isn't this strange? If people just wanted to murder Kyoko, then why did they hang the body? Just want to cover up the real cause of death. The bruise and blood stains are still there. You can see that it's a murder right away. You can? I thought it was a suicide before Yuki told us. That's because you're a helpless idiot. This mocking body didn't look typically a person who hanged himself in the first place. Too unnatural if it was meant to be framed as a suicide. Too unnatural? Yeah, it did look slightly different from typical suicide by hanging. You've seen him before, Yuki? It looked unnatural because the rope was too low, Kyoko didn't hang in the air with the boots on her head. Yeah, the rope was too loose. What? Wait, she was hanging in the air, wasn't she? Go. Kanaka, did you mean the body looked unnatural because it wasn't hanging in the air despite the rope being tied on her? Ah, yes. This is correct. Don't you think so? No, I didn't. I went 0 for 2 first. Oh, yeah. I got 0 ideas about this. Idiot. You don't know how people die from hanging? They usually tie a rope in the air, stand on a chair or something, and kick it out of the way that they hang themselves. That way there's nothing to step on. Eventually they're choked by gravity to death. Oh, I get it. If Kyoko commits suicide, her body has to hang down in the air. And Kyoko's body was down on the floor, even with the rope hung around her neck. This must be the point. I didn't even know that she wasn't hanging in the air, I'll be honest. Oops. It sure is weird. Why'd the culprit hang Kyoko's body then? It's simple. There are 2 possible explanations. The culprit either had a reason to do it, or it was swear to God stupid. What kind of a reason is that? The culprit is stupid? Would that mean Haru is the culprit? Hey, she said the culprit is stupid, not that a stupid person is the culprit. He didn't deny that he's stupid. Anyways, there's no way the culprit hanged her without thinking. There has to be a reason. What's the reason that this had to happen? To talk about that, we have to discuss about the culprit first. There's no need to repeat that. Revealing the identity of the culprit is the ultimate object of this trial, after all. We'll discuss about that culprit, as Sarugi said. But who is the real killer? I have no idea. Me neither. How could there be a murderer among us? I can't even imagine who. Hey, didn't we narrow it down to half, to be honest? Oh, Mitch, it finally on to my point. What makes you say that? Duh, use your brain. Kyoko's body was found in the girls' restroom and hanged by a rope. Shouldn't the killer be one of the girls? What? Hey, he has the point. Exactly. For example, Kitsuna could be the killer. She didn't speak up once since the beginning of the trial. Or Miss Dark Circles over here. Huh? One of them's the culprit? That's nonsense. I totally have no reason to commit a murder. Then why are you so quiet? It's hell suspicious. Dark Circles was always like that, but not you. Huh, shut up. I'm just trying to avoid talking with dirty killers. Miss Tamori, please don't call us killers. There's only one culprit. Makuma said accomplices have no merit. Don't view us like that. Absolutely not. Kyoko's already dead. It can't be anyone next time. I can't die here. You know that unnecessary overreaction makes you look even more suspicious? Shut up, Higa. How dare you spit out nonsense? The girl's a killer because the body was in the girls' restroom? Not like we have any rules here. Guys can certainly enter it too. Kitsuna? You sounded like a different person today. Why are you calling him by last name? Well, get your mask slipped. It's impossible for a man to enter the women's restroom. That must have been impossible. That must have been a possibility in the real world, but this place has a rule that forbids it. Am I right, Monokuma? Bingo! A man entering a women's restroom is considered a form of indecency. It will be punished by a shower of bullets from a machine gun. The same goes for the opposite case. That applies not only to the restrooms, but also the locker rooms and bathhouse that will be unlocked soon. Let's bear that in mind. It's true. Monokuma warned us when we found Kyoka's body and tried to step in. Come on. It's a matter of common sense that guys can never commit murder in the girls' restroom. Ugh. It wasn't me. Why would I, of all people, commit murder? I'm not a criminal. If anyone is, it's that creepy bitch. If Mishiro is right, that means the culprit is either Akane, Hikaru, Anaka, Ayame, Kizuna, Sasuke, or Miyako. No! I'm not the culprit! Sasuke never, ever killed anyone. Yeah, if one of the killers is one of the girls, who else can it be besides her? Don't you agree, Rei Mikaru? Huh, what's she even talking about? Don't pull my leg, bitch. Oh shit, that wasn't part of it, my bad. My mask slipped. Weren't you late when the body was discovered? Everyone was there except for you. If you're not the culprit, then why didn't you come late? That all you have? I told you back then. I was late because I was investigating at the main entrance. Nobody believes you. You have no evidence. Well, surely she was a bit suspicious. I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, but you did come late. Hikaru, can you prove what you said? If you need a proof for something as simple as this, it would be better for you to die here, airhead. Trying to back out? Gotcha. We found the answer. This bitch is the killer. Oh, hold on. I suspected we'd think about this some more. Coming late to the scene is sure to draw some suspicion, but would it also mean that Mikaru is the culprit? No, that's impossible. I don't know if Mikaru really was at the entrance to investigate, or the hall to investigate. There was evidence pointing to her innocence. It was my boy's account. Hold on! Mikaru is innocent! She really was at the entrance to investigate at the time. Why are we the one saying it shouldn't be him? Huh? How can you be so sure? Did you see it yourself? No, but... Kekaru, you know it, right? Mikaru is innocent. Ha ha ha! You said it, Yuki! Listen up, fella. Rei Mikaru is innocent. I, Kekaru Yamaguchi, am the witness. Miss Yamaguchi, is there something you know about this? I woke up around 6 a.m. with an urge to go to the restroom. I had a raging shit. As I was heading there, I encountered Mikaru. She said she was going to investigate the school wing and walked away. Next time I saw her, after I took a shit, after the murder occurred, which means Mikaru is innocent. You get what he's saying? Sasuke sees the logic, but can't understand a thing because of all that shouting. Basically, he saw Mikaru heading towards the school in the morning. It proved Mikaru's claim. Wait, but the body discovery announcement was 8 a.m. There were 2 hours in between the time you saw her and the murder. 2 whole hours! How did that prove her innocence? Akuna, think about the time again. True that Mikaru didn't show up until after we found the body, but Kyoka's estimated time of death was 6 a.m. In other words, it's impossible for Mikaru to have murdered Kyoka since she went to the school wing at 6. Sure, she could have turned back as soon as Kakaru went back into its room, but there was no way enough time for her to hang Kyoka's body or throw away the hammer. That's the reason why I'm saying Mikaru is innocent. Oh. It's refuting my evidence. Jace Ray with a point. Wrong! That's not enough innocent for me to say that she's innocent. Why? We even have a witness, Kakaru. No! There's a hole in your argument. I'm sorry, you, but I gotta make this rebuttal. That's the only way to make that Four Eyes admit her crimes and end this stupid trial. What the hole? Yes, I would like to hear. The one-on-one debate with a person who disagrees with you. Your opponent will put forward their argument and continually press on you. Press confirm to slot your opponent's word, just like non-stop debate. You can refute text marked in the... Press confirm. Put that space. You can twitch your truth blade. You can twitch your truth blade with the left and right arrow key. Choose the right truth blade. The shift key won't work at non-yellow text, and pressing confirm will start your argument in the order they were said. Be careful though. Not all arguments will go down in a single slash. If you refute the wrong argument, your focus gate will take damage. You got it. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna be finally talking about the clean body art. Alright, who said you had a merc from the person? Okay. I could have remote you from some other place. Killed her remotely? How? Kyoko was murdered by a hammer. How is it possible for to kill Kyoko with a hammer when she was talking to Kikaru? It's more than possible. For example, she could have tied the rope in advance, knocked her out or something, and set the hammer on the ceiling so it falls on her after a certain time. I can't fucking read it while whatever. Setting up a trap to kill to advance and activating it from a remote plate. Would that be even possible? Well, even if it were possible, looking at Kyoko's body told me that wasn't the case. The murder had to be close to her. I'd have to tell because you know why. Kyoko died around 6 a.m. I know that. And yeah, Kakaru and Makaru were around 6 a.m. too. And we thought you had to murder someone right in front of someone. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, hold on. So don't do it on everything. Okay. Okay, I got it. I understand it now. But remotely, no, that's wrong. Okay, Kyoko was murdered by a hammer. Yeah. More impossible. What the? Wait. I'm dying here. Wait. Am I? Hold on, I'm like butchering this. Wait. Makuma, can I have a reacclimation? Holy shit, I am bungling this. It's remotely. Oh, am I missing? It's a clean body. Oh my god. Wait, I know why. It's remotely. Holy shit, we might be stuck here forever. Does it have to be in the middle of the screen? Wait, is something I'm doing wrong? It's the arrow keys, right? Oh, it's fucking... Oops. I get it. Ray Makaru. I understand. I have to press shift. I get it. Remotely. What the? Thank God we finally got it. Okay, I have to press shift. Oh my God. I'm fucking... Hey man. I may be bad at reading directions. Don't refuse to point to press shift. I'm just mindlessly just pressing space. Okay, yeah, I don't deserve points on that one. Kitsuna, it's impossible to kill Kyoka remotely. Huh? How come? Huh? How come? I told you. Well, technically it's possible, but not the answer for this case. And it's because her body was too clean. The body was too clean? Remember how Kyoka's body looked like? Okay, now that I'm looking at the corpse again, yeah, she was on her knees when she was hanged, yeah. Kyoka's head did have a large bruise and was all sticky with blood. But that was it. The blood in her hair didn't even flow far. Her clothes were clean too. Isn't this strange? A bruise that severe enough to cause a dent on her head, and not a single drop of blood to get on her clothes? There's only one reason for this. The killer wiped off the blood at the same time Kyoka died? Yes, I agree with Yuki. I was wondering the same thing when we examined the body. But can you stop bleeding from a wound that big just by wiping it a few times? My nosebleeds never stopped that easily when I tried to wipe them off. It didn't take long for blood to coagulate in room temperature. A nosebleed is from an injury inside the nose, but Miss Maki's bruise was directly exposed to the air. About 5 minutes of pressure would have been enough to stop her bleeding. And Miss Maki likely died an instant death. So the actual amount of bleeding might have not been much due to lack of circulation. Huh? But the culprit wiped it off when Kyoka died. Right. If the culprit killed Kyoka remotely from a distance like Kitsuna suggested, Kyoka's body would have been covered with blood by the time they got to wipe it off. Also, they'd have to risk the blood getting on their clothes. They have to risk the blood getting on her clothes when there was no way to wash it off. What do you think, Kitsuna? Anything left for you to say? Ugh. Why are you siding with Four Eyes? I wasn't really siding with Mikaru. True, why would Yuzo stand up for me in the first place? I don't care what you think of me, but don't use it to justify framing someone else in a trial. If we chose the wrong person based off your petty emotions, everyone else here is gonna die. Did you still not understand the rule of this place? Fine, do whatever you want. Yes! Then, is Mikaru finally proven innocent? Is everyone clear on that? Why are we suddenly talking about Mikaru, though? If I remember correctly, she faked our suspicion that Mishiro said the killer was among the girls. Mikaru, we apologize for suspecting you. Shrug it off. No matter how much you contempt and disdain me, I don't give a damn. Mikaru, she has guts. Then, we can safely assume that Mikaru and Kakeru have an alibi. Well, we already crossed out Kikaru. Did you say the killer's the girl? Hold on! Even if Four Eyes is innocent, I'm not gonna take that. The killer cannot be a girl. But there's no other possibility. The killer had to have entered the girl's restroom. Who else other than a girl can enter a girl's restroom? Yeah, what am I missing? Why are you being so fussy if you're not the culprit? You feeling guilty or something? I told you, I'm not the killer! I don't know why she suddenly became southern. I mean, it's just not fair. You can't assume me as the killer just because I'm a girl. And you don't even have solid reasoning. I lost her voice. Oh, come on. If the rule that boys can't enter the girls' restroom is not an acceptable reason, then what is? The culprit is a girl. But is it really like that? This isn't good. We can't reach an agreement if we keep fighting. Ultimate leader, we're waiting for you to come up with a plan. There's no need. In fact, I'd highly encourage this sort of debate. Huh? I see the current situation as a perfect chance for all of us to understand the culprit's strategy. What do you mean? Everyone's just fighting each other right now. Think about why you were led to believe that the culprit's a woman. If you can figure that out, we'll be able to reach the answer from there on. It's not a girl? Why did we come to think that the culprit is a girl? The boy wasn't the girl's restroom for— Is someone cosplay? It's like, is a boy actually a girl? The boy wasn't the girl's restroom for sure. Then is the culprit a girl, just like Mitch said? I think we're still missing something critical. I have to point that out. Is someone cross-dressing here? The culprit is definitely one of the girls. I said I'm not gonna take it. The body was indecently covered inside the women's restroom. We didn't kill anyone. Calm down. While the body was just found in the women's restroom. Murder and hanging occurred separately from one another. But this one, right? What the fuck? The culprit said murder kill inside the restroom. No, 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 no. That's wrong. Alright, why are you arguing in goddamn a different direction? What the hell, man? No, Haru, that's not true. Not true? What's not true? We've been missing something critical. I'll cut to the chain. The culprit can certainly be a guy too. But how do you get him inside the restroom? It's a thing. Is there something I'm forgetting? Yeah, a guy can murder her inside the laundry room, but how would he able to drag the corpse inside the girl's restroom without getting shot? What you talking about? Guy couldn't go in the girl's restroom. How do you commit a murder at the place you can't even enter? That doesn't matter. All this time we thought the murder occurred in the girl's restroom since that's where the body was found. But where the murder actually happened was a totally different location. Huh? What you mean? The body was at the girl's restroom? Oh, I get it. Looks like everyone finally got it. No, but that's not my argument. Yeah, the body was killed in the laundry room, but someone had to put it in the girl's restroom in the first place. So how would a guy be able to like circumvent like getting shot unless they just put her body up in front of the screen and just did that the whole time? But that wouldn't work because like whatever. That reminds me, the Makuma file only stated where the body was discovered, not the place where the actual murder occurred. A critical point indeed. We weren't paying attention to the real deal while being distracted by superficial things. You should have seen it. You should have seen it at your first glance. Wait, hold on. If Kyoko was murdered in the girl's restroom, the culprit killed her in their place, then moved the body to the restroom. So it could be all done by someone who's not a girl. But who? How did they put it in the girl's restroom? Come to think of it, Kyoko's body was quite close to the restroom's entrance. Was it? Was it not inside? Was it just by the door? Is that what I'm missing? Because they hung the body? I don't know. Then, would Kyoko murder somewhere else? How did you reach that conclusion, Yuki? I bet you have to have some sort of supporting evidence. Yeah, in fact, I found a pile of blood in the laundry room. The laundry room? That place sounds so irrelevant. The blood stain saves everything. Kyoko Maki was murdered in the laundry room. The laundry room? I've seen Miss Maki there a few times, but her time of death? Why did she go to the laundry room at 6 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, I know she was an early bird, but I don't think she would get up that early. The reason why Kyoko headed to the laundry room. Didn't I find something that can answer that question? What was it? I think it's coming to my mind. That clue was... right here. Everyone, can you look at this for a second? What's that? I found it from Kyoko's body. It looks like a scrap of paper from the note that Makuma gave us. Kyoko was holding it tight in her hand. Would you like me to read what it says? To the laundry room at 6. Any cam be waiting. It's all raggedy and torn. Take a closer look. It clearly mentioned that place in the part that we can read. I see! The laundry room! Moreover, the words that really matter are still in fact despite the missing parts. From the parts that are left, I think the full message was... So come to the laundry room at 6. There aren't any cameras there. I'll be waiting. Something like that. That was so sick, Tsurugi. Pulling the note just from its parts. It's my speculation, so I can't assume that it's completely identical to the original sentence. But it should be the same overall. Is it ripped because the culprit tried to pull it out by force? I believe so. Maybe the culprit wasn't able to remove the whole paper from Miss Maki's hand through the rigor mortis. That means Kyoko got that note from someone and went to the laundry room at the designated time without knowing what was about to happen. Shoot! Why would anyone use those cheap kind of tricks? Huh? Satsuki confused on the part that said there aren't any cameras. Perhaps it was intended to make the note look like it was some sort of secret talk? Nope, that's not what Satsuki meant. Are there really no cameras in the laundry room? There is... Whoa! What a surprise! You can talk? Between the ventilators and the clothesline. Yes, I saw it too. Georgette wrote down some meaningless nonsense, that bait. Kyoko, just why? I apologize for the untimely interruption, but may I speak for a moment? Kinji, what is it? Kyoko was murdered in the laundry room. Although we can now be certain about this statement. Is it not too early to include that a man could be the culprit as well? Huh? Well, it's possible for a man to commit a murder in the laundry room and carry the body to the restroom. Recall the fact that Kyoko was not merely lying on the restroom. He was hanged by a rope attached to the ceiling. Have we forgotten about this already? Thank you, Kinji. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't think I'd be agreeing with you, but thank you. That's my point. Oh, you're right. The murder could be done somewhere else, but you have to enter the restroom to connect the rope to the ceiling. So, the culprit is really a girl then? What? Are we back to where we started? Seriously, guys? You want to think the culprit's a girl that badly? No, but... Kinji's not wrong. It's impossible to tie a rope to a pipe inside the restroom unless you are inside as well. See? The killer is one of the girls. Wait, it's too early to make that conclusion. Can there be a way to hang a body from the outside? I mean... Unfortunately, because it's like a 2D game, we can't see how the body was hanged if it's 3D, but I mean... I'll go with it. If Kinji is right, the killer can't be a guy. But if there's a way to refute that logic, I have to come with it, even if the chances are less than 1%. This isn't a drill. A simple mistake can kill us all. If we put our heads together, we'll be able to find the answer. Yeah, I think I have to shoot bullets for that. Oh, my green tea's gone. The trial is sponsored by Itosen, your unsweetened green tea. Alright, where are the shoot bullets? Cut the count, butting your body, hook. Is that really possible? What if the corporate used a tool for it? Maybe the culprit had a tall height? They must have climbed up the wall. It's the kind of stunt Sasuke can do too. Hey, we're being serious here. It's a tool? Let's think closely. There's still possibly a guide to culprit. I lost one just for hearing out the dialogue. Okay, is that really possible? The hook? Yeah. I thought we were gonna use her account. That's why I wasn't like hard pressed on it. Oh well. That's it, Ayame. You can use the tool. So you tie the rope to the hook. You throw the hook onto the pipe. But how'd you wrap the rope around it then? I almost forgot. The tool that was tied to the rope. It's here. Do you see it? Looks like a hook to me. A hook? The rope has something like that? I'm starting to get impressed by the extent of your guys' stupidity. But Useless made a good point this time. You're right. Looks like you got it correct. So, what about the hook? The culprit must have thrown the hook with the rope attached to connect it to the pipe on the ceiling. That way, the rope is all set. Afterwards, they can tie the other end to Kyoko's neck and put her body inside. Wouldn't that be possible to do without actually entering the women's restroom? I mean, I get, but like the rope was all like hung up. It was spun. Yes, it is. It is our answer. Hold on. Look how the rope is tied to the pipe. Yes. Thank you, Mitch. It's been twisted several times around the pipe. Is it possible to do that with a heavy-looking hook on the rope? Oh, oi! Oi, he's right. He's Australian? Oi, he's right. If we fasten by the hook, but a rope went around several times. I know it's nearly impossible to tie a rope like this when a hook is attached. What the? You said it's like possible? That's why the culprit used another tool to secure the rope onto the pipe. Another tool? What is that other tool? Seems like Mikaru is the only one who realizes what it is. Well, can you tell us, Mikaru, it's the rubber? Like hell, I realized. I knew it from the very beginning. And if you're trying to sound me out, quit it. I already said I have no plan to offer any help. Besides, it looks like Yusuf over there got hold of it anyway. Why don't you ask him? What? Me? Yuki, can you tell us the answer? Well, it's... Oh, you didn't? Sorry about that. I guess that question was too hard for your non-functional brain. I won't forgive myself if I don't give an answer after hearing that. In fact, I'm sure that I found the object during the investigation, didn't I? The tool other than the hook that would use to secure the rope from the outside. That tool was... the rubber ball? How? Good, and one more thing. There was a key piece of evidence that can prove the tool's involved in the crime. Yeah, the stain. I got it. I figured out the other tool used by the culprit. It was the rubber ball. Rubber ball? What's a rubber ball? It's like a bouncy ball. Have you ever played with them when you were younger? It's full of some of vicious liquid that makes it bounce up when it hits the floor. Oi! I know! I made some improvement to it and sold it overseas under my name, Hyperball. Did I tell y'all that it's selling great? How is it relevant to the case? You better tell us quick, you... Motherfucker, you're in the garbage room with me. What do you mean? You didn't see it? Okay, I found out the way the rubber ball was used in the murder just now. After Haruki set the culprit to another tool to set the rope in place, I tried to relate the act of winding the rope with the circumstance of the murder. I think we can be certain about the culprit using a hook since we found one on the pipe. But as Mitch pointed out, it's impossible to wind the rope like that with a hook alone. Pulling the hook after setting up the rope wasn't a choice either. There's no way to get the rope around the pipe by itself, around the pipe itself. Besides, they have to step inside to attach the hook. That's why the culprit used a rubber ball! I still don't follow, Yuki. Before using the hook, the culprit tied the rope around the rubber ball. Oh! I get it. Holy fuck, what kind of genius did this? They tied around the rubber ball and then they threw the rubber ball around. Oh! I got it. Holy fuck, how hard were you throwing that shit for it to burst? Damn. I understand. Wait, that actually kind of really cool. Then they threw it inside the restroom between the pipe and the ceiling to be more exact. Yeah, that way the ball would hit the wall and bounce back toward where it started. If you repeat it multiple times, you get the rope around the pipe with the ball returning to the entrance every time. All that's left is to remove the ball and tie the hook to throw it around the pipe. But the culprit probably faced something that wasn't a part of their plan here. The rubber ball burst because of the pressure from rubbing off the wall. It spilled its content all over the wall and the floor, which it still left at the scene. This is how the culprit tied the rope without going inside the girl's restroom. The hook and the rubber ball were used to make it look like it was done from the inside. Oh, so that must have been the sticky liquid on the wall. Well said, Yuki. Hi, sorry for an interruption. Someone came into the room, but you know what? We are back. I agree with you. Well, if our ultimate police officer says so, I guess he's right. Everyone, did you notice something after getting to this point? Notice what? Think closely. We're talking about the possibility of a man being the culprit. But don't you think it should be the opposite after going through all this? Opposite? By explaining among the ball and the rope, it would prove it possible for a guy to be the culprit. But if the opposite of that is true, that means the culprit's a woman? What? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm dead. The culprit's a man. Yeah. Why would they go through all that? I'm sorry, I'm dumb. I'd like to apologize. That's right. We're going the opposite direction ever since. Opposite direction? What are you talking about? We thought of the culprit was a girl, so we thought of many ways to hang Kyoka from outside the restaurant, basically intended. What if a guy could be the culprit as well? Turns out that wasn't the case. It's very unlikely that the culprit is among the girls. The killer is definitely a man. What? It wasn't me. Hey, how so? Why is it so sudden like that? Think about what we just went through. The culprit undoubtedly used the hook and rubber ball to connect the rope to the ceiling. Now, suppose the culprit was a woman. Would there be a reason for her to use a complicated method for what should be? Would there be a reason for her to use a complicated method when she could have simply stepped inside and tied the rope directly? That makes sense. It looks like the culprit had to do it without going inside the restroom. Furthermore, even if the culprit was a woman and had to use the hook or rubber ball for some reason, they would have been able to clean up the stain. They would have been able to clean up the stain on the wall afterwards. Right. As I mentioned before, the culprit probably didn't expect the rubber ball to burst. To clean the liquid off the wall, they needed to get inside the restroom. But they couldn't, because guys can enter the girls' restroom. I can't say it without absolute certainty, but it's the most reasonable explanation we can think of. That would mean there would be no reason for a culprit to intentionally leave traces in the murder scene. I mean, the liquid stain on the wall was a big hint for figuring out how the ball was used by the culprit. Ah! That Ame can give the girls an alibi, right? Plus, even better. Yuki, Teruga, Haru, Mitch, Tsurugi, Kinji, and Kekaru. We know one of them's got to be it. Hold on, what if the girl was a woman and tried to make us think that way all along? I highly doubt it. The reason the culprit hanged Kyoka in the first place was to make us think that a woman did it. Ho ho! Still had nothing to do with disguising it as suicide from the start. Indeed, everything was led was leading us to believe that a woman is the culprit. It made me believe it as well. In other words, the culprit wanted us to think that way. So they wouldn't become a suspect. All because the culprit himself was a man. Everything's connected now. I found it strange to find the rope on Miss Maki's neck to be too loose. In retrospect, I see that it was the case because the culprit didn't intend to make it look like a suicide at all. I can't believe it took this long for you to reach that point. What's up with you talking like you already knew all this stuff? Because I already knew? What? I already have everything worked out. Who the culprit is, why they killed, anything you could possibly think of. So if I fail the trial, you're just fine with dying, I guess. What? And you just stood there in silence while you had all the answers? How many times will I have to repeat this? I have absolutely no reason to help you out. Mikaru, this is a competition. If you don't share what you know and we end up voting for the wrong person, you're gonna die too. Of course, I'll share my knowledge when it gets to that. You want to test it? But even without my help, you still have Tsurugi Kinjo over there to help you. And useless, you're actually getting pretty close to the truth too. I was actually surprised. Perhaps you weren't completely useless after all, monkey. Monkey? She's real smug. Well, she's always been like that. We should ignore what she said and keep moving on. Sure, I'll believe what left off. I believe we left off from saying the culprit is a man. Ah, I wonder who it is. Wow, should be real excited by the tables turning. Anyways, we now know that the killer is among the men. We still need to specify one person out of the 7. Is there any clue to narrow down the list? Well, if Mikaru was able to work out the culprit's identity, there must be a clue pointing to the killer somewhere. The problem is, we don't know what that clue is. Is it the antique store? Tsurugi, a little help here? Like something that can nail the killer? I do have something in mind, but you shouldn't rely on me for everything. All of you should figure the case out by yourself and understand the reason behind our final verdict. Kyoka. Hey, y'all? Any ideas about the culprit? Well, nothing in particular, I suppose. We're almost there. We know that the culprit is one of the guys. Just to remind y'all, it's not me. That's the reaction you make? That reaction making you look even more suspicious. Just like you from a while ago. What'd you just say? I'm sorry. Wasn't that out of character, Kizuna? Most of you seem to have trouble with it. Let me suggest going around. How about we all think of something else first? Such as... Don't you want to know why Kyoka died? Why Kyoka had to die? Of course we do! Kyoka was always full of spirit and a nice friend to us. He deserves to die. We begin with 2 people were indirectly involved in Kyoka's death. 2 people? Are you implying that there were 2 culprits? Oh, they wanted to give the note to her! Or to him instead. Oh, no, I'm not saying those 2 took part in the murder. But they heavily influenced the events leading up to Kyoka's death. The point is, Kyoka died at someone's mistake, and the culprit's misjudgment that stemmed from it. Mistake and misjudgment? I had to help a certain someone to explain this. Yuki, could you help me out? Me? Do you remember the conversation we had in the hallway? The one over the nameplates? Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, you told me that you knew who caught that chain to the nameplate. I don't have knowledge regarding this matter, so I'd like for you to provide us the context. Hello? I got 0 ideas on what the 2 of y'all are talking about. Oh, okay, I'll explain to everyone. Yesterday, while all of us were in shock that Ramakuma showed us the motive, there was a minor incident that happened. The 2 people who knew about that incident are me, Haru, and Sasuke. And finally, Kyoka. Huh? Huh? They don't look like they know it, though. Haru, Sasuke, did you forget what happened before nighttime yesterday? With the nameplates? Oh, that? Oh, you meant the thing with Haru's triple spin? Yes. would you mind explaining to us what happened back then? I think there's something you didn't know about. I'll tell you when we get there. Oh, okay. Okay, we're finally using all the evidence. Is it Himbo who did it? No, I feel like they know something was wrong in the antique. Look, Satsuki and Kyoko were hanging out there distracting stuff from the motive. Then I accidentally fell down and broke the nameplates. It was real funny to watch. Triple spin. When I was freaking out over damn school property, Makuma showed up instead. But he won't punish me since it was an accident, and left me with a new sense of nameplates. He told Haru to put the new plate back where they belong. So Haru put them back at the right place. No, he didn't. He made a mistake. Oh, cool. 75 points. Close to 90. No, Sasuke. There's something wrong with what you just said. Huh? What's wrong? Although Haru did put the nameplates back, he didn't know that he made a mistake while doing so. Yuki, that's... He forgot where the two nameplates originally were, so he put the new ones in the wrong place. What? He forgot about something that was right in front of him seconds ago? Oh, he went to the restroom before putting them back, so I think he got confused somewhere in the middle. Okay. I get how much of an idiot Haru is. How does that relate to Kyoka's murder? That would be because the two nameplates Haru had to replace belong to me and Kyoka. Right, Yuki? Yuki? Yeah, right. Kyoka's room was right next to mine. Ruby's was right next to hers. But because Haru thought the other way around, the nameplate of their doors were switched. Mr. Kobayashi Kiwa, what is your intent to do so? Anyways, Haru, shouldn't you have already known? We talked about the nameplate being switched while we were investigating. Well, I did, but I just wanted to avoid unnecessary suspicion. Avoid suspicion? Don't tell me you're the culprit, Haru. No, I swear I'm not. That is exactly why I didn't say it. Why would we think you're suspicious? It's just a couple of nameplates. I don't think they're that much related to Kyoka's death anyways. Yes, they are much related. Yes, they are related. Much related, in fact. No matter... Now, would you care to explain what that means to us? Ultimate Lawyer, come on, man. You gotta be quick on this, too. How are you the Ultimate Lawyer if you're this bad at the case? I said earlier that two people were connected to the murder. One of them is Haru for switching nameplate, and the other person is... me. Huh? Yeah, because they wanted to give the note to him instead of her. Mr. Kinjo? You have an indirect connection with the murder of Miss Maki? May I ask you to elaborate on that? It's true. Let's see, where should I start? How about we all get a grasp of the culprit's intention first? I think when at the culprit originally planned, the person to have a portrait here would have been me. That statement sounds somewhat far-fetched. How come you were to die instead of Kyoka? You remember that torn note that Yuki read to us a while ago? I was able to comprehend what the culprit was aiming for after seeing that note. Kyoka got that note from the culprit and headed to the laundry room at the designated time. There, she was assaulted and murdered by the culprit. Everyone clear on this, right? Then let me ask, how do you think Kyoka got the note? How she got the note? Well, maybe one of us casually handed it over to her? She wouldn't have known that person would give the note would come after her back then. From, where? How? Did any of you ever see Kyoka getting a note from someone? No, besides, there wasn't any time for that. After we got out of the audiovisual room, Kyoka stayed with me and Sasuke until she went to her room for the night. Wait, then Kyoka got the note between 10 PM last night and her time of death, which is 6 AM this morning? Right. Kyoka went inside her room as soon as it became nighttime. You couldn't have gotten the note while talking face to face with someone. And that leaves us with one possibility. She got the note while she was inside her room. But you can't go into someone's room unless you got the key or owner's permission. Yes, but there is a way to give her the notes without opening the door. What? But that'd be like magic. Really? How? They slid underneath the door frame. A way to slip a note inside the room without opening the door or being seen by the owner. That should be pretty simple. Something that any clever kid could think of. Let's think about it. If I stay calm and keep brainstorming, it will come to my mind. Hangman's Gambit. Alright. In Hangman's Gambit, you must put together pieces of evidence that flash by your mind. The bottom of the screen will show parts of your target word or phrase with space in between. Find which letter would go in the blank space and shoot them in place in position. The letters will move around at random across the screen. If there are multiple blank spaces, you must fill in the leftmost spaces first. Alright. Okay, so let's see how this game is played. Well, good thing I have 5 stars. A. Wait. Oh, gap! I was like, what word am I trying to spell here? It was like... It was pag, and then, oh, gap. Gap under the door. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit slow here. That's it! The gap! Even when the door is fully closed, there's a gap between the bottom door and the threshold. That's large enough to slip a note through. So, after nighttime, the culprit left a note inside Miss Market's room through that gap? Right. There'd be no one in the hallway after nighttime, and Kyoko would still be awake. Adding a message like, don't exit your room to keep Monokuma from noticing, would have easily dealt with the chance of Kyoko seeing the note coming in and opening the door. That way, the sender wouldn't have to reveal himself while still getting the message across. This inequality of information between the culprit and Kyoko made her more vulnerable to deception. You know, it would be pretty bold of him to do that. What if Kyoko didn't show up or brought other people with her? Then I'll probably request her to come alone to prevent such occurrences. Likely coupled with a reason she won't be able to ignore. From the fact it mentioned the absence of camera, it must have been something Monokuma should have known about. A way out, for instance. Would any of you refuse to go if someone offered to tell you a way to escape? Well, I'd... go, yes. True, I would have gone as well. Okay, the culprit sneaked the note inside her room. I get that, but how exactly is it you and Haru's fault? Think closely. Most people here didn't know about Haru switching the nameplate until it was said in the trial where noticed after the murder occurred. Which means, at the time of the murder, the culprit was unaware of the fact either. Oh! I see. For that reason, you consider yourself and Haru to be at fault. For those of you who haven't got it yet, we're saying that the culprit killed Kyoko because of confusion. Confusion? What? That would tie back to what Tsurugi said earlier. Right. I think I know how the interactions with Haru had over Kyoko's death. Haru switched the nameplate by mistake, and the culprit slipped the note inside the room without knowing they were switched. And the culprit intended target was Tsurugi. That's right. The culprit never intended to murder Kyoko. The real person he wanted to kill was Tsurugi. That makes sense. The culprit saw Tsurugi's name on the door and left a note there. But the room was actually Kyoko's. Does that mean Tsurugi would have died if Haru didn't switch the nameplates? Yes. That's why I said Haru and I indirectly caused Kyoko's death. Kyoko! It was all because I was a dumb idiot. It's all because I was dumb enough to mix up those stupid nameplates. Calm down, Haru. It's not your fault. Even if you put the nameplate correctly. Also, I'd like to apologize to Akame. You're not the killer. My bad. My bad. Tsurugi would have been in danger. I'm a policeman. It's my duty to ensure everyone's safety. Yet I was careful enough to let Kyoko die. I should have died rather than falling in my duty like this. Failing my duty like this. Please, don't say that. Every person's life must be treated with extreme regard. This is why I cannot forgive the culprit. Not that murders ever deserve forgiveness, but him killing one of our close friends was absolutely unforgivable. Yeah, I feel the same too, but how am I supposed to take that one of us is that cruel, cold-blooded killer? So? What do you mean by so? Can't you think? Now is the time to say it. You know, the identity of the culprit. The culprit? Didn't you solve everything you need to? Alright, I need to make sure that my audio was recording after I muted. The fact that the culprit's a man, the way he hanged the body without entering the room, how and why he called Kyoka Maki and killed her. Isn't the culprit fairly obvious at this point? Well, while we did figure out most of the major details, I don't believe we ever brought up that matter before. Jeez, you guys still don't know? How long are you going to make me wait here? I think my legs are starting to hurt. How would you say it yourself if you know that much? Huh, why should I? I think people like Tsurugi Kinjo out there figured out anyways. Tsurugi? Do you know who the culprit is? Yes, I do. Actually, I already knew who it was well before the trial started. Woohoo! That's our ultimate police! But what I thought back then was more like an educated guess. Now that I went through these discussions in the trial, I'm confident with what I got. Man, that's epic. How'd you know? I still don't have a clue. I'll try to make it easy for everyone to understand. So let's go back to when we were talking about the hook and the rubber ball. Y'all know how the culprit used them, right? Of course! The culprit tied a rope to the rubber ball and sent it around the pipe a few times, then threw the hook on to secure the rope. All that was left to make it seem like it was done from the inside. The rubber ball was a decisive factor in my deduction of the culprit. Do you remember Yuki explaining earlier that the rubber ball bursted because it couldn't overcome the pressure? It was probably due to the accumulative damage from the repeated collisions within the wall. Here's the question. How much pressure do you think it needed to pop the rubber ball? Well, it will depend on which kind you're talking about, but probably a lot? Yep, I'll tell you something. That pop too easily will be worse at the bouncy ball. Right. Normal levels of pressure can't leave a single scratch on the wall, much less make it burst. But the rubber ball still bursts, just by bouncing a few times off the wall. That's kind of strange. Was the rubber ball old? When I saw the rubber ball, it was so glossy and shiny all over despite its condition. I dare say it was brand new. I'm not done yet. Though I didn't place emphasis on this earlier, think about it. Would it be easy to make a ball go over the pipes, through the little space between it and the ceiling, bounce off the wall and roll back toward the entrance? Especially when the culprit couldn't afford to fail even once because he was a man? I believe it would be a challenge. I don't possess the skill for it in the first place, but even if I did, I won't be able to do it because of the pressure. Fully agreed. But the culprit chose to take that challenge and succeed nonetheless. Whose specialty is that? Yet the confidence and ability. Is it Mitch? In short, the culprit had the ability to throw the ball exactly where he wanted to. But Mitch is soccer, and more than the accuracy. Not only did the culprit have precise control over where to land the ball, but also strength to burst it open. But I don't think anyone out of the guys look like they have that much strength or accuracy. Judging by the muscle, maybe Kakeru does? Whoa! With my daily muscle training, it would be certainly possible for me to burst a rubber ball with my strength. However, just to be clear, I cannot be the culprit. I can't even score a goal right below the basket. And how did the killer pull off those tricks? Was he secretly the ultimate baseball player? Hey, shout Leon. No, I think you guys are missing something. I said the culprit made the rubber ball go over the pipe, not through it. It's Mitch? Huh? How can you make the rubber ball go over the pipe without throwing it? Wait, I think there is a way. How do you even do that? Superpowers? No. You can kick it with your foot. Oh right, rubber balls are small enough to hold with one hand. I think naturally to think that the culprit threw it. Huh? Hold on a sec. Kicking with your foot? I knew I had the answer when I reached that point. It seemed like some of you got there too. What I'm thinking, right? The culprit is... But why? Why did he... I'm still not getting it. Who was it? Can someone just tell me the answer? Yuki. You know who it is, right? Huh? You're gonna make me say it? Why me? What the fuck? I know I'm the main character, but like, what did you say fuck me for? Looking at your facial expression, I got the feeling that you finally reached the truth. Drop me out with the hook and the nameplate. So how about you say it for us? To match my mind all of this. Kyoka's murderer. Yuki. Tsurugi's right. I know the culprit. And Mitch is the one who pointed out that it was supposed to be only a girl can do it to throw everyone off the scent. Tsurugi's right. I know the culprit. I really did figure it out. There's only one person who could have done everything we talked about before. I want to convince myself that I'm wrong, but there's something I have to do. I must do this. It's Mitch. The person that came up with the plan and murdered Kyoka. Mitch. It was you, right? What? Okay. Wow. That was pretty long. But, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to apologize to Akane profusely for blaming the murder on her just because of the girl fact. I mean, Mitch did do a really good job because I was thinking like, okay, how are they able to get them by inside the restroom without, you know, being a girl? But that fact was tossed aside. Wrapping the rope around, dude, that was pretty cool too. Like throwing at the rubber ball, that's pretty cool. I was like, okay, so how did the rubber ball like play into this? Only playing that piece together was really cool. And yeah, the only person who could have done that with like the skill would have been Mitch. And the fact that it's like subverted my interpretation, like, oh, he must have threw the ball. No, you can also kick. Oh, dude, that's actually really cool. That's really cool. But you know what? I'll stop it here. Dude, I do not know what I'm assuming the back half of the trial and how long it's gonna be. So if you guys got here that far, thank you again for watching. And until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Later.